Board. They're literally sailing circles in the ocean, waiting for something to happen.
Those warships, they're machines. The people on them operate them are not.
It's one of the mightiest warships in the world. But conditions on board the USS Abraham Lincoln are said to be so bad that some sailors have tried to end it all by jumping overboard. 5,000 men and women set sail back in November, arriving in the Middle East ahead of the Iran war. President Trump had said it would be over in weeks, but months later they're still at sea. They've now spent a record 250 days on the aircraft carrier. In messages home to their families, sailors have told of being served rotten meat, tiny portions, the same meal 14 days in a row. They've also reported mouldy showers, broken toilets, laundry down for weeks, long stretches with no hot water, and no soap, deodorant or toothpaste.
So it's continuously Groundhog Day every day. You rise and grind, and you do it all over again.
During his time in the Navy, Dustin Eadson also served on board one of the nuclear-powered vessels. He told me what those on the Lincoln will be experiencing.
It's humid, you're in the middle of the ocean, so there's no shade. It smells like fuel and oil all the time. It's noisy. These, men and women have gone 250 days without touching grass.
The military would argue that these men and women are trained for this, though.
That doesn't mean that they deserve neglect. That's a failure of leadership.
But the Defence Secretary has dismissed the multiple reports of the declining conditions as fake news.
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
The administration's pushed back against growing congressional pressure over the warship's record-breaking length of deployment.
Images from the USS Lincoln have made headlines at a time when the president is trying to project an image of strength. Privately, Donald Trump has repeatedly expressed his frustration at the ongoing war in Iran. All this amidst mounting political pressure ahead of the midterms.
Big speech, big jet.
Pro-Iranian YouTube channels have been quick to capitalise on the headlines. Here, mocking news that the president hid in a catering truck to secretly switch planes in response to an Iranian threat.
Iran watches this very carefully, and they seem to have hardened their position, partly because they see what they think is weakness on the American side.
Mark Kansian is a retired Marine Corps colonel. He now works for a think tank which has been tracking munitions stockpiles and says the president's strategy in Iran is partly being constrained by dwindling supplies.
So what are the implications of having such low stocks as this war goes on?
It opens what we've called a window of vulnerability, and that window will be open for several years until deliveries start backfilling what's been expended.
The families of those on the Lincoln have called for urgent help, and it's understood another carrier, the USS George Washington, is now on its way to replace it. But the government's been accused of being too slow to respond, at a time when the war in Iran is increasingly unpopular.